Senator Adamso Shomole is backing Edo State Governor Monday Okpebolo's plan to publicly execute convicted kidnappers and cultists at the Ring Road roundabout in Benin City, declaring the plan will keep those who want to go into kidnapping in check. Let's watch.
The declaration by Governor of Edo State, Governor Okpebolo, that we are in a federation. Like in American Federation, every state has a right to enact laws on punishment when it comes to state offenses. So, kidnapping and murder fall within the state offenses. And he has decided, together with the House of Assembly, to replace hanging with firing squad. Once that is done, those who don't want to suffer that should not come to Edo State. So we rise to give it full support. What made diversity beautiful is when different people approach the same issue from different angles based on their own evaluation of the situation. Number two, as your senator, I supported in total President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the Governors Forum decision to create state police so that instead of using vigilante with old-fashioned gun, while criminals are carrying AK-47, when we have state police, Governor Monday, we have the right to buy the latest AK-49 to deal with these criminals, whether they are in our bush, they are in our cities, they are in mechanic shop. Every criminal is served notice. No more lamentation. Our bush will be safe. Our farmers will be happy. I cannot fall because I was born the day God said I will be born. So don't worry. As I did here, so my mother alive. Oh, so I think this is important for people to understand the full logic of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's commitment to breathe real air into the concept of federation.
Well, Governor Monday Okpebolo first made this declaration, and Senator Adamso Shomole is fully endorsing it. Those in support say Nigeria's kidnapping crisis has reached a point where conventional deterrents have clearly failed. And if public execution make even one potential kidnapper think twice, the proposal has done its job. But critics are raising serious questions. They say compressing a criminal case in 2 or 3 weeks raises real questions about due process, the right of appeal, and wrongful conviction. Amnesty International has repeatedly warned that fast-track executions increase the risk of irreversible miscarriages of justice. The kidnapping crisis is real. The anger is justified. But here is the core question. In a country where the justice system is already under scrutiny, can we trust a 2-week trial to determine who lives or who dies at a roundabout? Rufai, good morning. Dr. Abati, good morning. Ayo, good morning. I came to you, Rufai, first, because I know you want to speak on this.
At this point in time, yes, we might have to fine-tune it, but I largely agree with Governor Monday Okpebolo and Oshomole. This matter is more than be careful.
Yes.
So, but just the parts for fast-track trial, I don't really believe that. We must be able to scrutinize them well because
before they kill them, yes.
Because you have also had cases where it was when the investigation started, you saw that some people that were taken with them were just victims of circumstance.
Yes.
But if it will get to the point where you have public execution, because these people, when they kill people, they do the execution public. You see what they did to the generals.
There used to be firing squad in
but people stopped it over the years because, you know, they said, oh, it's not a better way to do things. But we've gone back to the Wild Wild West. So the part I just want to fine-tune is going through the process effectively and ensuring that these people truly did the crime, not a fast-track trial. But if we get to that point, if they've given them execution and they've gone through the whole wrong and we fast-track the process, the thing is, it should be done publicly at this point in time.
The execution.
Because when these people also do their execution, they do it publicly.
They put it on social media.
Yeah. So if they can do the same, let us also shock their own ecosystem with this. Oji, in this country where they are already capped, where, what's it called? Kidnappers and terrorists are going on Hajj pilgrimage.
Yeah.
You are going on Hajj pilgrimage and you're coming back to kill people. What God are you serving?
All right.
What are you You're deceiving yourself. And that guy was correct. So is it that the state government will say they don't know about it? The guy on Trust TV that said state government sponsors some of these bandits was correct. And please, we should now ask who supported them.
Right.
The state governor involved has a lot of authority to say. See,
We
the
have
governor of Katsina has not told us what transpired with Rabi.
All right.
He just said diabetes and all of that, which has been debunked.
All right. Reactions are trailing comments from Senate President Godswill Akpabio, who declared that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration is already transforming Nigeria, speaking at the signing of the NIMC Act 2026 on Friday. Akpabio commended the National Assembly for translating the president's vision into law, saying Nigeria will never remain the same again after President Bola Ahmed Tinubu leaves office. Let's take a look.
Mr. President, I don't think, if I speak, we are going to reopen the debate on why we passed this piece of legislation for you to assent to become an act of parliament today. But let me say it's part of your innovation, part of your intuition, part of your reforms for Nigeria. You have promised that under your tenure, by the time you are through, that Nigeria will never be the same again. So even from the achievement so far made by the Ministry of Interior in terms of identifying and picking up criminals at the point of entry, it shows that even with this bill, that the bill is already working. And my brother has also mentioned the advantages.
Well, Rufai, Nigerians online are firing back, pointing to rampant insecurity, hardship, and poverty, asking what exactly has transformed for the better. I'll take Daniel's post on X. He wrote, Akpabio is right. Nigeria hasn't remained the same under Tinubu's administration. We are truly witnessing it. Things have progressively gotten worse to the point where Buhari's regime is arguably better. And that says a lot. Meanwhile, a viral clip of the Emir of Kano, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, is setting social media on fire after the monarch delivered a pointed critique of the National Assembly, declaring that a legislature that cannot stand up to the executive is simply an arm of the executive, not an independent branch of government. Let's take a look.
You have a legislature that's supposed to make laws. If the legislature cannot stand to the executive, and it is an arm of the executive, that is not a strong legislature. The National Assembly was one that passed the law. The law said you cannot lend more than 5% of last year's revenue. That law was broken with impunity. Where was the National Assembly? I was called before the National Assembly more than 20 times on every small matter. Central Bank, federal character, this one. I was hauled and harassed and disturbed. And all of a sudden, for 8 years, the National Assembly was silent. I said, can the National Assembly tolerate this? So this is about institutions. As an institution, the legislature was supposed to call this, they passed the law to make sure that that law was being complied with. If we had that pressure from the legislature, pressure from economists, pressure from international analysts, it would have been very difficult for these things to have continued and for us to be where we are.
Well, Sanusi's words are widely interpreted as a direct attack on the 10th National Assembly under Senate President Godswill Akpabio, which many Nigerians describe as a rubber stamp for the Tinubu administration. Meanwhile, the Nigeria Democratic Coalition has accused INEC of blocking it from uploading its candidates on the official nomination portal just days after a Kogi State High Court ordered INEC to deregister the NDC. The party is appealing the ruling, calling it a temporary setback, and obedient supporters are furious, accusing INEC of being weaponized against the opposition ahead of 2027. And, you know, INEC has not officially responded, but this story is much bigger than a portal access code. Prominent banker and commentator Atedo Peterside has weighed in, putting the spotlight squarely on what he calls judicial rascality. And I'll read Atedo's post on X. He wrote, "The cure for judicial rascality is disciplinary action. Glossing over rascality while relying on appeal courts alone to overturn obnoxious judgments encourages more judges to go into the lucrative business of delivering procurable, obnoxious judgments." And, you know, all eyes on the judiciary all over again. We had that in 2023. Now we're having it again ahead of the 2027 election. I'd like for you to tie in all the stories.
All of them.
Legislature and now the judiciary.
Number one, Audrey, the police in Oyo debunked the story and was saying back and forth. Is it the same police that called a video of bandits, police hating bandits?
All right.
Is it the same police that called that video vigilante?
The same police, Rufy on fire.
It's the same police.
And I got the report from a security.
Audrey, I like to take the things that the police says with a pinch of salt.
But it's our duty to report
their own
yes.
side. You know, everything, Audrey, they will always debunk. The same police that came out to issue a statement and said, oh, the picture of the police waving at bandits, despite the fact that the Hausa interpretation has come out,
yes,
it says vigilante. Till today, they've not had the sense to come and apologize to Nigeria that, oh, we made a mistake, or even lie and say it's AIU.
Yeah. It's
the same police that is debunking. If you believe them, you believe them at your own peril.
Right.
It's sad that that institution is gone. Just like the Sanusi Lamido said,
right,
and Akpabio is saying now, Senate President, what do you expect Akpabio to say? This has been one of his greatest time, being Senate President. And he will always support the government that has given him a lot of leeway. He will support the government against the people. But we all know that the Senate is even worse than a rubber stamp. National Assembly. In fact, it is defaming the word rubber stamp to call them rubber stamp. In fact, they are an arm of President Tinubu's presidency as we speak today. Don't even call them a rubber stamp. You are defaming the word rubber stamp to call the National Assembly rubber stamp. They are an arm of the presidency as we speak today. The same people that turn National Assembly, that change, national anthem in the space of how many days? The same people that said they will investigate the variations in the tax laws. Till today, the committee has not brought out their reports. Is it the same people you are listening to? What will he say? In fact, he will call President Tinubu's government El Dorado. The same government that finds it difficult to be able to fulfill its budgetary requirement. The same government that went ahead to still do the loan swap deal that the IMF cautioned us against doing with the Dubai Bank. The same government that under which poverty has increased to about 63%. The same government that we now have a high level of insecurity. The same government where you have bandits having the effrontery to be able to travel for Hajj operations and come back. Anyway, we are happy that Olubunmi Tunji Ojo's technology caught them. The same government where generals are being killed. Right. So if you say things are better, we believe you because we have never seen this level of low in our lives. As regards the rescue, we are excited about the rescue and we commend the police. Kusaye for bandits. But Dr. Abati, you were saying that they are coming here. Dr. Abati, they've always been in our bushes. Go to Ondo and see skirmishes that happen. It is not the same people that killed people when Ogbeni Akeredolu was still there in the Owo massacre. Are these not the same people that killed Pafasorotti's daughter that made the leaders in the Southwest to set up Amotekun? So it's always been there.
All right.
And Sanusi Lamido pointing out the faults of the national, he's had his own fair share. So he's talking from experience. Even the judiciary, is he any better? Ayo, I placed a bet here on the table. I said nothing will happen to Justice Lifu as regards his judgments. Has anything happened to him?
All right.
It's not just going to be condemnation.
All right.
So you see, if we had a state by today, Oji, we should have a crack team already investigating phone calls and personal details of those justices that are making errant judgment to be able to bring investigation out.
We should bring this.
Let me go back. When Muhammadu Buhari cracked those judges then and brought all sorts of investigations against them, although a lot of them scaled through those judges, we called him name and tyrant and everything.
All right.
Maybe it is time to start raiding the judges again.
Well said, Rufai. Well said. Thank you for your submission. Nigerians remain sharply divided over the First Lady's Akara controversy. But presidential spokesman Sunday Dare is defending her in a new interview, sharing his own story to back up the First Lady's remarks, declaring that his mother sold akara and bananas to train him, and that he personally carried bananas on a tray on his head to markets in Jos. Let's take a look.
You must not miss a point. Our point is that whatever it is, try and do something. Have some level of entrepreneurial skill. Sheon, look at me. Wherever I am today, my mother sold akara. Wherever I am today, my mother sold bananas. I carry bananas on the tray in my head to markets in Jos Plateau State. My mother sold oranges. And through that, they were able to train me. What is wrong with that? If that was right 60 years ago, what is wrong with that now? Because it's about what capital you have. When you grow these small businesses, you start small. Go and read Dangote's story. Go and read Dangote's story, where he started from. He also started like a trader. So the point she is making is, whatever it is, be engaged in some kind of enterprise.
Well, I know you spoke on this story, but you know, Nigerians online are asking one key question. Can small businesses truly survive in today's economy? Well, D1 comedian puts that to the test, interviewing an akara seller who started with 12,000 naira, made 5,000 naira profit in one day, and says 30,000 naira could help us scale up. Let's take a look.
So wait, how much do they make for this akara business?
I do make up to 5,000 naira out of the business.
5,000 one day for profit?
Yes, yes.
So
like the one I did today now, all my expenses was 12,000 naira, but I was able to gain 5,000 naira on top of it. So everything that I sold today was 17,000 naira. If you give me 20,000 or 30, I can use it to move on with it.
No. You mean if you have 30,000, you go and start this business afresh for another place?
I'll use it and start it afresh from another place.
30,000?
Get 1 pint of beans, get groundnut oil, 5 liters, then get other things. I can be able to do it.
Wow. And this business could so from that 30,000 now, you can't see profit of at least 5,000 when you sell?
Yes. If I stay in a better place, that legs are moving, that where customers can come and buy, you will make it when you are selling. And I sell per one 15 naira. So,
wow, this is the trending story, Dr. Abati. Over to you. You know you didn't speak on Friday. That's why I'm giving you the floor really quickly.
No time,
yes.
So I kept my thoughts to myself.
Yes.
Now, very quickly, there is a lot of creativity, a lot of humor that has surrounded this subject. Again, showing how Nigerians can be very creative. In fact, this morning, somebody sent me a form online, National Akara Sellers Association, and asked me if I would like to join, that the form is just 2,000. But, you know, the point of it is, Sunday Dare is right. Yes. There are many big men in this country today who were brought up by their mothers. Some of them were widows, through petty trading, whether it is akara, or it is plantain, or it is kulikuli, or it is agbado. The story by D1 comedian, whether it is a skit or it is a true story, you know, again illustrates the main point.
It does illustrate the main point,
about the value of the dignity of labor, the value of micro and small-scale businesses.
Correct.
Now, but because the First Lady used the word akara, people did not see the sense, the value behind it, particularly for people who grew up and their parents never had to go and buy akara by the roadside, or who did not even, there will be young people in this country who have never tasted kuli-kuli. But you know, all these businesses, the way they package kuli-kuli now, it's a very profitable business.
It is.
The way they package akara or mai. Okay, what would you say to the women in a place called Osu on the way to Ife, where there is big akara business? So it's about scaling, giving people opportunity. So there have been many dimensions to it. There are many. So it's not enough to just dismiss it. But it's about dignity of labor. It's about small and micro-scale businesses. And Mrs. Tinubu providing support in that regard. I don't think that she meant...
she must be commended for that.
She must be commended for providing... People.
For providing support.
As for this economy, there are people who are still getting grants and are surviving, and they get opportunity to
Like I said, she was speaking in terms of her empowerment program. There's no time.
Yeah,
there's no time. A second.
Something
please.
very quickly on this is
Just
that,
one sentence.
is this not a pattern that close to an election cycle throw money at them? We had trader money before. I want to understand the needs-based assessments that governments or even initiatives like the Renewed Hope Initiative do to see if this is the critical need of the Nigerian woman. So it's tokenism. And they give them, does this solve the problem? Does it help them? We don't. We are still talking about 1960. My mother did this, my mother did that. One of the challenges I have is that we lack critical thinking, and that's why we don't move forward as a nation.
Giving grants?
Leave that to the local government chairman. Leave that to the local government
so she
chairman.
shouldn't give grants to local government
She's a former senator. She can do better.
She shouldn't do that. Okay.
Yes.
What about quickly?
A lot of people are missing the Akara conversation. This is just pure tokenism and looking down on people. Audrey, let's flip the scripts.
Right.
Why is it that you can't make a country in such a way that the barest minimum too can give 1 or 2 billion in grants to people? Why is it the tokenism of Akara, looking down on people, not appreciating the fact that there's ingenuity and skill?
All right.
And also, how about better ideas like rethinking the bean ecosystem? You're talking Akara today, you're talking about Usu, frying.
Akara should be seen as a metaphor.
No,
it's a metaphor.
No, wait, Dr. Abati. You're talking about Akara.
Wait,
you are talking about
it's a metaphor.
Wait,
all right.
Can I land on this point? Would you guys let me land on
Yes.
this point?
Correct.
You're talking about Akara, people frying a mass in Usu. Wait till the Chinese people disrupt that your Akara ecosystem.
All right.
And they will sell the package Akara back to you. That's what we're talking about. People should think of critical thinking and
All
skill.
right. All
Let's
right.
keep deceiving ourselves. Oh yeah, okay.
All right, the First Lady, I watched the entire clip, and I must reiterate, she was speaking about her empowerment program. And she had empowered people of the lower demographic, and that's all it is, really, at this point. Now we're under a milestone.